U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Here's the Spring League star, Jake Bates, to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months. Not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. This defense for the Vikings, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for them to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for them to escape the pocket and run.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 15 yards the pickup, 1st down Washington. Here's a give up the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And this is what we talk game inside the game. Top 5 passing offense versus top 5 passing defense. I wouldn't be surprised defensively if they change up coverages a bit more than usual to try and combat what they expect to see.
And a pretty good burst right there as he'll take this down to the 33. It's a 1st down for Washington on a pickup of 11.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of 1st downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
That's to McCaffrey, complete. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. To the air goes Daniels. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Tucker's kick is good, and the Commanders get out to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Second and 10. They'll look to throw here. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Now they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down. You talk about this Washington defense. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Now Brown, he lost the football. And it looks like the defense has got it. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. First and 10.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10. He'll look to throw. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit. We decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only second and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the number 2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're number 2. Let's go ahead and show them that we can run the ball anyway? Or do you do the best thing and throw the darn thing and try and get in the end zone?
Maybe that's wiser. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. There's Addison. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, and these are those kind of litmus test games in the second half of the season that if you're a coach or a player, you can either really look forward to them or really dread them, depending on your point of view.
And if you're dreading them, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. You need to look forward to these kind of games because here we've got two division leaders, both real contenders for the NFC title. And you're right, you love having easy games on your schedule, but you need some games like this to toughen you up a bit and ensure that you're ready for the shock of playoff football.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. From the 31, here's second down and 2. Now a handoff as they run left side. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from second and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Daniels. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. They'll try to run this one in. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And really, it's worth talking a little more about the stakes of this game. Currently, these are the top 2 seeds in the NFC. I think they're the 2 best teams. Would you agree?
I think you can definitely make the case that they are, and I like where you're going with that. I do know that we've seen a couple of other teams along the way that would say, hey, don't forget about us. But your premise, I think, could be spot on. These could easily be the top 2 teams in the NFC.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now they'll audible to something else. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
That was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They're going to try and throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Washington will take control of the football in great field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action, now it's Daniels. They'll roll him out right. And he'll just get rid of it.
One thing you're always worried about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in. He's just got to throw this one away.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw is Daniels. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And the approach is driving a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. That is caught. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Our score after 1 right here on EA Sports.
Commanders 10, Vikings 7.
Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. They'll work the middle here with Wright. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Sliding out of the pocket. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. And the defense bit hard there. They were thinking run all the way, play fake, working to perfection on 4th down.
And it was able to work because of the down and distance situation. 4th and short, you've got to respect the run. You show a little play action. Oftentimes you find people open for what you need, and that's exactly what they got done there.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. This guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Rolling to his right. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Well, they're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. They go play action. Daniel feeling the pressure here and taken down. Sack back at the 7. Multiple players yards combined for their team's first sack of the game. Tucker's kick is good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they wanted to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. He'll look to throw. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll drop to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Off the play fake, Daniels. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. And now time will be called here as Washington... player down on the field. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Daniels. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
That's a defense coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Daniels looking to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. 23 yards on the play.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 28. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Now Daniels. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And this puts him on top by a penny. It's 14-13. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes
it's caught inside the 25. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A huge play there for Washington. 68 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. Standing alone with a new NFL record, 32nd touchdown. And the Commanders have retaken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make this a 6-point game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Now 2nd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throws right side, and that's complete. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll try to run this one in. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This Washington defense, they've stood tall the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
But when the ball snapped from the 3 down near the goal line, I think in days gone by we thought many teams would run the football, but on 3rd down in today's game, I expect them to throw it. A little counterintuitive there. They tried to run it, instead spilled for a loss.
And they're not going to get the kick off in time. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Out is Jake Bates to try the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Bates' kick is good. And that cuts the lead down to just 3, 20-17. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. Motion man is Schwartz. 2nd and 5. They'll look down the field here for Kincaid. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Well, Charles, you're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's is a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaughan. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the third quarter will start from the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point, and now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Second down and 3. They'll set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A gain there of 21 yards. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. They're going to look to throw. Steps away to his left. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up second and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
From the 17, here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
We're going to give out a little applause on that play. It has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Out of the gun now on third down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps but he's got a first down there. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Washington defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. He'll try again. And he will again run into a wall as he is stopped at the 4-yard line. Washington looking for another timeout, and they get it. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Vikings have taken the lead in this third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same, and what they plan to do on offense.
That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Well, they brought the lead into this third quarter, and now they're really stepping up, setting a tone here defensively.
They came right out roaring because you had to know that in the locker room, they talked about setting that tone that you just described, continuing the dominance that they exhibited in the first half.
Going up top. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, when the running game's not working, sometimes you just got to take a few more chances down the field. That's a good effort, but it winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To the air goes Daniels. And that is incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return, and it will be Vikings ball 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Looking for Addison again, and he's got him again. So he stopped for no gain, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got this to Jefferson. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
They'll look to throw again. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are able to widen their advantage. Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 43 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Give every member of that unit a ton of credit for ripping off such a big gain there, because you don't get free for that many yards on a counter or misdirection without everybody selling the heck out of it.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Here's Daniels. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Daniels. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. He may go. A great pick, nice return, but you know he's just beating himself up inside for not getting all the way in.
No doubt about it, because he had visions of end zone in his mind. Going to be the total hero. But we did see there the emphasis on it's not just good enough to pick it off anymore. Bring it back, get the yardage, and really help out your offense.
The best starting field position you could possibly have. 1st and goal. And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Vikings get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
The slot man in motion right. To throw is Daniels. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 23 yards the pickup there. They'll look to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Two yards to go, second down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He gets away from one, and he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Back to throw again. That's to McCaffrey, complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll try and run for it. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. I think that's a good example of why they've been successful this year. They're fearless on any down.
And it's interesting that this year I asked an NFL head coach about being fearless and going for it on 4th down, and he said, people have to understand, there's fearless and there's
in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Dalton Kincaid. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 70 yards. And the Vikings have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move. To the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing now is Daniels. That is caught. Kincaid with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Daniels looking to throw. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration of body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Daniels. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36.
Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown.
Dalton Kincaid
with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns.
And the Commanders are able to cut into that deficit.
Tucker with the extra point. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And not willing to risk a return. This ball is going to come out to the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. He'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
The Vikings on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turn.
Evades the tackler, and now some space. Touchdown, Vikings! Jordan Addison with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Vikings have made it a 3-score game now here in the 4th. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big fourth-quarter hold. But still, what a run it's been. It feels like they have not lost in forever. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. A tough spot here. 3rd and 15. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. He's to the 15, and he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Flushed out right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Right is not going to get a whole lot, maybe a yard down to the 3. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
They'll run here on 3rd and goal. And they'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders get a bit closer. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So down a couple scores, only 1 timeout left. You figure they have to get this one. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them. And field position leads you to that type of play calling. And whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Oh, design run for their wideout. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Well, not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Addison hauls it in. They had a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows the punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Give him big credit for his coverage right there because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is 3rd down. Here's Ritter. The throw's going to be caught. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Well, there's still hope, but it's dwindling fast. No timeouts left. They need 2 scores still. 1st and 10 here. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Just a difficult situation to be in here in the final minute. Down 2 scores. You know you need some providence from somewhere. They're going to keep firing away till the end, but this one falls incomplete.
Inside a minute to go. Here's 2nd and 10 now. Ritter. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Short play like that in this situation this late, that's a win for the defense.
No doubt. I remember something Coach Madden used to talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't just take what the defense gives you. You have to take what you need. And in this case, the offense is taking what the defense is giving them, not what they need.
And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
This is 1st and 10. Now Ritter. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted. And that should do it.
One final kneel down here, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, that offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea